This is Zach and Nick here. We are going to talk about some football and stuff. So, sit back, drink some water, listen, and enjoy.
Yeah, we're quite excited about this. We thought it would be a pretty good idea, and we both have interesting takes, and we both enjoy talking about football. So, here we are, and yeah, let's start. So we wanted to start with talking about the Thursday night game, which was the Broncos and Browns.
Yeah.
So Zach, start us off.
All right, I'm going to start this off by talking about the Broncos here because Teddy Bridgewater is just not the answer at quarterback.
Mhm.
And he just hasn't been the same coming off his concussion. He's turned the ball over 7 times in 3 games or something like that.
Mhm.
That is really bad, actually.
It's not. I've never been a big fan of Teddy Bridgewater, so it's not like I disagree with you. It sort of felt like the Broncos coming into the year were like, yeah, we're going to have a top defense, and we're just going to ride off of that top defense. And obviously, you're seeing it collapse as they go for their 4th straight L, which is what it is. They got talent on the defense too,
but they can't get a pass rush going without Von Miller, and
right.
Their secondary has been pretty bad.
Yeah, it really has, which is surprising because that was sort of a strength that they had going into the season. And it's not like they don't have talent there,
Yeah, they add all the talent they had on their team beforehand. They added Pat Surtain too.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you think though, if Pat Surtain was the right pick.
Unsure at this point. I mean, obviously he could still develop, but something's off with this. I don't really know what moving forward. I know I was having a conversation with some others about coaches on the hot seat, and honestly, I don't see how Vic Fangio isn't on the hot seat at this point. Because the only thing he had last year, at least they had a lot of bright spots on their defense. This year, I'm not really wowed by them in really any capacity or area. I don't know if you agree with that about Fangio.
No, he definitely should be on the hot seat because he's a defensive guy, and the defense hasn't been very good this year.
Right.
You can throw out stats at me, but 2 of those games are against the New York teams. And
right.
We don't think either of those teams are very good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you have any opinions on the Browns?
Yeah, Case Keenum is okay. He is a backup. I for the people that really want him over Baker, when Baker's healthy, which he hasn't been since week 1, when he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, he's a different quarterback than what we've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, their running back depth is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and it helps that they have such a great O-line too. That was that's gonna help make that depth look even better than it was. Not discrediting Dearness Johnson.
Yep.
But man, they got a good offensive core,
and it's not even fully healthy. The offensive line isn't fully healthy yet.
Mm-hmm. That's a very impressive task.
And it's good to see Jarvis Landry back because he's more important to their offense than Odell is.
Yeah. I got 2 questions, I guess, really about this game, for you. So before we move on to the other games and other predictions, what do you think the best option to do with Odell is? And what do you think of the state of the Browns' defense is? Those 2 things.
I think that what I would do with Odell is I would quietly shop him.
Do you think he is worth a 3rd-round pick?
If you can get a 3rd-round pick, he's worth a 3rd-round pick. But I think he's worth the 2nd-round pick to the Packers.
Interesting. Okay. Now, I know some people like to blame it on Odell as the fault, being the one at fault, and some people like to blame it on quarterback play. I sort of feel like it's both. Baker and Odell really haven't ever had that great of a connection. I feel
Well,
like
I feel like they've been hurt though. Like
it's
when
it's
one's
been a
healthy, the
rotating
other's
door,
hurt.
right?
Yeah.
And then they really haven't had time in training camp to ever build chemistry.
Hmm.
They just it's never lined up for them to. And at this point, like I don't want to be just dismissive, but the cycles just keeps on going. I feel like they should just move on from that contract they had with Odell. Because it's not like they don't have talent elsewhere. I mean, you're not trying to pass the ball 50 times a game, you know. Your
Yeah, I
goal
think
for the Browns is to run the ball, 150 plus yards a game while, giving good dump offs to and good 10-yard passes to Jarvis, Austin Hooper, Njoku, Landry. Yeah, I mean, that's really what you want to do. I guess that's how I see the team. I don't really see the need of Odell.
Well, the need for Odell is someone to take heat off Landry,
True.
but like I feel like you could address that by picking up a Brandon Cooks. You don't
That's fair.
necessarily need Odell.
Right.
You could reasonably move Odell for a second to Green Bay and then pick up Brandon Cooks for a 4th round pick.
Sounds about right.
And your offense would be more productive in my eyes.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But their defense, I think it's starting to click.
Okay.
The defense takes a while. Like when a new coordinator comes in and new people come in, it takes a while to get set up.
Right. Because they added John Johnson. They added Troy Hill.
Yep.
Greg Newsom was a rookie this year, right?
Yep.
Ronnie Harrison was traded this offseason, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he was here last year. Yeah.
Okay. They got Jadeveon Clowney.
Yep. They also got their Delpit this year.
Yep.
Well, he's healthy this year, so he gets to play.
Right.
Brady Williams finally gets to play too.
Yeah, and he's finally developed a little bit better too, which is that's cool to see. Which was crazy because I remember like 3 years ago looking at those sort of dumb, way too early mock draft picks, and it was always Greedy in the top 5. And then when I saw Greedy drop out of the top 5, I was like, whoa! But I mean, that's just a random factoid. I just remember seeing Greedy in the top 5 all the time. But yeah.
He was overvalued though for what he was.
So I think we should move on to our predictions. Talking about the games upcoming. So the first game, Washington football team at Green Bay. 2 interesting teams with 2 just totally weird storylines, in my opinion. Washington being one of the biggest disappointments, I think, in recent memory, and in my opinion, more of the biggest disappointment of the season. And in the Packers, you have they're on a 5-game win streak since the Saints blowout. But to me, honestly, I don't think 5-1 is indicative of how good of a team they are. And I say that in a negative way. I'm not in love with the Packers. But yeah, let me hear your take for this game. I think we both agreed the Packers are going to win, but
this game comes down to a few questions, really, in my eyes. Can Chase Young and the Washington football team pass rush get home? Because if they don't, Aaron Rodgers is literally just going to pick you apart.
Right. That's what he does.
Can Antonio Gibson actually play well this week? 3 touchdowns, 3 fumbles this year. Not great. And who's going to get the ball for Washington outside of McLaurin?
Right.
Because he has 30 more targets than anyone else on that team.
Right. I don't really see many of the Washington football team guys actually going to get targets. I'm just not high on really anyone else.
Well, I'm high on Curtis Samuel, but
will he be healthy?
Yeah, it's when does he get on the football field?
Right. That makes sense. What a fall from grace by Adam Humphries. Forgot that dude is even on the team.
Yeah, should have signed with New England when he had a chance to play with Tom Brady.
Hate to see it, honestly. I've never been a really high in Tyler Heineke, and I think now we're seeing sort of the regression that compared to the first couple of games where he looked, he looked good against the playoff Bucks. He looked good his first 2 games of the season, and now it's sort of like, okay, what you expected a back 10 quarterback in the league, he's there.
I mean, I said what he was when I remember talking about this a lot. Taylor Heineke, what he is a volatile backup.
Yeah.
He's a less talented Jameis Winston.
Fair enough. I can see that, I guess. I don't know. I just don't think he's that special. I was really upset at this team coming into the year because I really believe that they should have gone all in on a quarterback because I was very high on their defense. I really wish they had a quarterback, to be honest, that could elevate their team. But right now, it's just a weird mess that I don't like.
You know what the best thing they could do right now is? Call up San Francisco and go get Jimmy G.
Do you think Jimmy G would help that much?
I think I've seen what Jimmy G is, and he can play at a top 13 level quarterback. He's not going to be like an elite quarterback, but like
he won't lose you games.
Yeah, and what Washington needs is a quarterback that can do that.
Right. That makes sense.
Is their O-line good enough for Jimmy G? To be determined. But like, I'd rather have Jimmy G and have a bad O-line than have Taylor Heineke and have a bad O-line.
Right. That makes sense. I agree with that. I'm not high on this team. But yeah, do you have any opinions on Green Bay?
Green Bay, they haven't really impressed me all too much.
Yeah, I agree
with
that.
They beat the Bears, but like I wasn't impressed. Like they didn't really show me like, wow, this team's really great. Now, albeit, I'll credit them this. They are missing Jair, and they are missing Bakhtiari.
Those are massive. And they're not going to get Zaire, right? They're not getting it back. They'll get Bakhtiari. Yeah,
they'll get Bakhtiari back. They're also missing Zadarius Smith too.
Right.
Yep. I haven't seen anything from this offense that suggests it's not something I didn't see already last year. And the defense is worse.
That's pretty much exactly my stance and why I was trying to refer to the point like in the beginning. I said the 5-1 is not indicative of who this team is. Because in my opinion, they look like a 3-3 team.
I would say 4-2, but yeah, it's splitting hairs there.
Yeah, they got blown up by the Saints. They beat the Lions. Okay, cool. You should beat the Lions. They had an impressive win against the Niners. I'll give them that. You can have your opinions on the refs or whatever. I don't care. They had a good win.
Yeah.
The Steelers win I was like, okay, cool.
They shouldn't have won that game though.
Yeah, the Bengals game. So many missed field goals. I don't really know, but like
the Bengals deserve to win that game.
I agree. And then I honestly did not watch the Packers-Bears game. So I'm going to take your word for it. And it was
It was 24-14.
Right.
And like the Bears defense is good. So let me give credit to the Bears. The Bears defense is good. But like they got a turnover because someone jumped off sides and the refs didn't call off sides. So it's like, I think they went down and scored on that. So, it's hard for me to be like, wow, I'm impressed by this team.
Right.
Because it feels like last year's team, but you have Randall Cobb now.
Correction. It feels like the last 2 or 3 years, Packers team.
No, I think there was a massive gap between last year's Packers team and the year before that.
They had a defense?
Well, they had a defense 2 years ago, but like Aaron Rodgers was just learning the offense and it wasn't as comfortable.
That makes sense.
But the Jalen Smith signing is doing nothing for them.
Yeah.
I love Jalen Smith as a story. He's not a starting linebacker anymore.
Makes sense. That makes sense. And they just signed Whitney Merciless, who's not going to do much. Sorry, Packers fan. Like I've watched him for most of my time watching football, and he's also one of my favorite players in the league. But the only sacks you're going to get from him are like insanely good coverage sacks and someone scrambling out of the pocket, and he just happens to be there. He does not have an arsenal of tools and weapons to use. He can only be backup guard or tackles at this point. And his coverage
that's because that pec injury, right? His pec injury?
I mean, what, from a couple of years ago?
Yeah, that's when he really started slowing down.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely has, because he had a year where he, in my opinion, he was like 4th or 5th in Defensive Player of the Year. It was whenever Clowney and Watt just like it was one of those weird years, and he just showed up and he had like 13, 14 sacks that year. But I digress. That's not the point. The point is, it's like the dude's not that special anymore. As much as I love him, he's not that special. It's right now the Packers look like a retirement home. That it is what it is. But I'm assuming you're picking the Packers?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers because I don't think this pass rush will get home, even though it should.
All right. Makes sense. So let's move on to the next game. Panthers Giants.
Oh, the Injury Bowl.
Joyous. I don't really have much opinions on this game, to be honest with you. I don't like the Giants. Panthers don't know how to play from behind. So Panthers.
I think I'm gonna pick the Panthers, but like I actually do have some good news for Giants fans, some bad news for Giants fans, some good news for Panthers fans. I'm a man of good news.
Oh wow, you love
good news is Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram should be back.
We love to see that.
So Daniel Jones will have people to throw to.
Woohoo.
The bad news, they won't have Kadarius Toney, Saquon, or Kenny Golladay, or Andrew Thomas.
You hate to see it.
And against an elite pass rush, Daniel Jones is going to get killed.
Right.
There's your good news and bad news. You're getting players back, and your quarterback's going to get killed. I think this week they're going to run the ball. The Panthers are just down the Giants' throat. They're ranked 29th in run defense. Shouldn't let Dalvin Tomlinson go, because they're not going to be playing from behind at this rate. This is the Chuba Hubbard breakout game. I'm calling my shot now. I'm calling it now. 120 yards and 2 TDs.
Let's see it. Fantasy owners will love it. Yeah, I mean, I see it. I can see that happening for sure. I don't really have any opinions on this game, to be honest with you. I'm probably just going to pick the Panthers and not blink twice about it, in all honesty. I don't like the Giants. I don't like Joe Judge. One of those other guys that I think is probably going to be gone after this year.
I think they'll fire him and elevate Jason Garrett.
Oh gosh.
Which, if you're a Giants fan, is your worst nightmare.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's the direction they want to go, because Daniel Jones has improved this year.
Yeah, I don't like the in-house hire.
I don't either, but I think that's where they're going to lean.
I'm scared of that.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Chiefs and Titans.
Wow. I thought I had to actually do a lot of thinking about this. The Chiefs has a historically bad defense. The Titans have a historically great running back. The Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
I think I'm going to lean Tennessee.
That's interesting. Interesting indeed. I'm going to look. I like. This is going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a wickedly high-scoring game.
Get your kickers. Kickers' points matter.
Yeah, we love to see it. I'm trying to find the over-under right now. The over-under right now is 57.5, which is...
I'll take over.
Yeah, I think I'm taking over on that one. It's an interesting game. I'm gonna be fun. I'm gonna love watching it. Derrick Henry. Now's my chance to get on my soapbox. Derrick Henry is the MVP right now. I think what he's doing is on pace for like statistically one of the greatest, if not best, seasons by a running back we've ever seen. Without Derrick Henry, I believe this team is 0-6. I genuinely believe that. I don't like really anything else about the Titans. I mean, what they do is just run it, and then Tannehill is a talented enough guy to be able to read. Is AJ Brown open? No. Is Julio open? Sure. I'm gonna pass it to one of them. Oh no, I can't. I'll pass it to my tight end, and just sort of do that, process. I do think losing Taylor Lewan is pretty big. I don't feel like enough people are talking about that, which could hurt Henry just a little bit. But at this point, I have yet to see anything that has stopped Henry. So,
well, see, I would agree with you that losing Taylor Lewan is huge, except they're facing the Chiefs.
True. True.
Do I fear Frank Clark?
No.
This year, no. Chris Jones? Normally, yeah. He's a game changer. Not this year.
Yep.
I don't know how they're going to line 8 men in the box, and they're going to trust their corners to guard Julio and AJ Brown one-on-one. Good luck. Good luck.
How much more will Matthew get upset at his at Rashad Breeland for blowing coverage on one of those two guys? My gosh.
What about I'm glad they took Sorensen off the field. Sorensen?
Yeah.
My God, was he just... He has not performed well this year.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but I don't know if it was you that said it or somebody else that said it, but it was just they are relying on talent and talent alone at this point. And it's not working that much anymore.
Well, here the Bucs literally showed the world. Actually, no, I'm gonna give credit to where credit's due. The Falcons showed the Bucs, who showed the world how to beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
2 high safeties, make them run the football.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna do it because run the football and throw it short. Mahomes won't do it.
He's a little antsy whenever he can't be throwing deep.
Colin Cowherd made a point about Justin Herbert, and he has arm talent, but he doesn't have to show it. He'll take the safe play.
Mm-hmm.
That is the opposite of Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this sounds like I'm hating. I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. As a matter of fact, he's probably the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. But he hasn't played good this year.
Right.
He's not been a top 10 quarterback this year.
He has been
he's actually probably the 11th or 12th best quarterback out of play this year.
Yeah.
His stats may not back that up, mind you, because someone will bring on, but the stats. But watch the games.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I'd probably have him a little bit higher, but just a slight bit. But I can't think of that ranking off the top of my head right now.
Maybe we'll do that next one.
We probably should. I think I'm gonna pick the Titans mostly just because I sort of want to see this Chiefs collapse. So yeah. But I just have a hard time picking the Chiefs now confidently. I just can't do it. So I'm gonna take the Titans. And I know you said you were leaning the Titans as well.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs didn't even beat the football team convincingly, even though it was 31-13. Up until the third quarter, it was a close game.
Right. It was, yeah. And I think because I remember having the conversation with you, it was just like, holy crap, this team looks bad. This team looks really sketchy right now. Oh my goodness. But yeah, now let's move on to the next game. Bengals at Ravens.
Game of the week.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is a fun game to say the least because the Ravens, in my opinion, overperformed, but that just could be me not liking them coming into the season. The Ravens look good. Lamar looks all right. the team just looks like it's functioning really well. And same thing with the Bengals. Like, I know the Bengals are 4-2 right now. They continue to prove me wrong, and I respect that, I guess. I'd still have a hard time like picking them, and their schedule is tough, so tough to end the season right now. Like I know we're talking about, and we're going to week 7, and we're talking about end of the season, but like no, this is the point where we start talking about it.
You close your eyes and it's week 14, dude.
It's crazy, dude. It's weird because I just remember last week it felt like I was turning on week 1.
Yeah.
Golly, but the Bengals are doing something right. I'm taking the Ravens confidently in this game, which this could just be a trap game for the Ravens. But I think I'm going to take the Ravens confidently.
Well, the Ravens got the Packers next week, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a Thursday night game.
I'm pretty confident about that.
All right, so I'm picking the Ravens, but the
Vikings
team? Wait, what?
They played the Vikings.
Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I have them. They do face the Vikings. I see.
Packers play the Cardinals next week.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. We'll get into that later.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens.
Nope. Yep. I will take the Ravens because this game's going to come down to. All right, who's got that better coach? I'm going to go Harbaugh.
Yep, pretty quickly, too.
Who's the better quarterback? Lamar, but it's not as close. It's closer than we kind of think.
I think from a passing perspective, yeah, but Lamar is such a good runner that it's gonna I can't discount that, and he's gonna change the game in some regards.
But who's more talented? Who's more talented around them?
Oh, well, if we're including defense and that talent around them, the Ravens. If we're just talking offense, just on offense, I would say the Bengals, reluctantly. Just because I'm a big fan of, at this point, I like Chase. I like Boyd. I like Higgins. Joe Mixon's playing. O-line's not amazing, but the rest of the pieces around them are pretty good.
Yeah, no. I think offensively, they're a tackle away. But their O-line's been better this year.
It definitely has.
And I don't really trust the Ravens' offensive line without Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not really gonna. I don't know. The Ravens don't feel like that good to me. Or not to lie, I don't know what I was saying there. I don't like their core outside of Mark Andrews. I feel like Hollywood Brown's gonna recede a little bit whenever Bateman comes back.
He's back this week. He was back. He played a little bit last week. He'll probably get more playing time this week.
He didn't. Yeah, I mean, they played already together. I don't know. I'm picking Ravens. I don't really have much thoughts on this game.
I think it's going to be a very close game. The Bengals are for real, but Ravens should take it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Next game, Jets Patriots. Again, I don't have much opinions on this game. Zach Wilson, you need to show up.
No, don't worry about Zach Wilson.
I'm not really.
It doesn't matter.
Patriots. I don't know. Please show some life.
You need to trust Mac Jones more if you're New England, and you need to stop being with this archaic 2008 play calling.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, we sort of expected that out of them this year.
It doesn't, just because I expect it doesn't, I expected Jacksonville to be bad. I don't want to see it.
Right. That makes sense. Damian Wilson, can you please go off? Please?
Damian Harris.
Not Damian Harris. Yep.
Yep. So the issue with that is the Jets have a really good defense.
Yeah, I know. I know. That being said, I do agree with your opinion on they need to trust Mac Jones a little bit more.
I think if the Jets want to win this game, they need to run the ball.
Yeah.
And and they just need to build Zach Wilson's confidence instead of just like, no, you're going to be Superman and go do it.
Right. I expect Judon to go off again this week.
Go off as in 1 sack, 2 sacks?
I'd say 2.5 this week.
Ooh, that'd be tough. That would be tough.
I'm going to call my shot right here. I say 2.5 sacks.
All right. I think they won't pick off Zach Wilson 4 times, though.
I don't think that's going to happen, no.
I think 2. They'll get 2.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. Who's J.C. Jackson going to be on?
Corey Davis.
Okay.
They're going to keep him on Corey Davis.
And who's on Jamison Crowder?
That's a good question. Probably Jalen Mills.
Okay. Interesting matchups, to say the least.
And Jonathan Jones is hurt, so Elijah Moore does have potential here.
Oh, Elijah Moore season, yes, sir.
Well, it depends if they play Denzel Mims, though, because, then they can move people around,
Man, I really want Mims to stay healthy and, be good. I liked Mims.
You just need playing time with him.
Yeah. It's a shame. Who are you taking?
New England.
Okay.
I don't trust the Jets yet.
That's fair.
They have to show me something.
That's fair. I'm gonna agree with that, I guess. Yeah. That's probably who I'll end up picking. Next game, Falcons and Dolphins. I know there could be a lot of opinions on this. I think the Falcons have shown some semblance of life. Also, they're getting Ridley back and Russell Gage back. So woohoo, I guess. I guess they had Russell Gage last week. Or they had somebody come back last week. But yeah, I think I'm going to take the Falcons pretty confidently, honestly. I just don't like the Dolphins. I do not like the Dolphins.
I do too. And Flores needs to be in the hot seat.
Really? He had a good year last year. Now, despite them being very lucky, in my opinion.
They were turnover dependent. They weren't.
True. Aren't they getting back Xavier Howard? And
yeah. Yep, they are. And Byron Jones. But here's the thing.
Okay.
The defense has been okay this year. It's not been special.
Right.
The defense regressed and the offense hasn't improved.
Right.
And you traded up. You gave away your first round pick for a receiver.
Who's been all right.
He's been good, but Tua can't use him.
Right.
Which is why I'm confused why they went and got 2 speed receivers.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense why you got a Waddle and Fuller.
If I was them, I would have taken at 6. I would have taken Devontae Smith. I am glad though they didn't have the opportunity to take Kyle Pitts, because I know you saw my rant on this. Kyle Pitts would not have fit in Miami,
especially with the Gesicki. I'm a big fan of Gesicki.
And I also was one who said I don't like Kyle Pitts in Atlanta because I liked Julio and Ridley, and then an offensive lineman or a QB for Matt Ryan. But here we are. Things happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think both their defenses feel like they're in the same spot at this current point where it's just like, okay, they're there. They're not amazing. Sure. They exist. Whatever. This is not a fun game. I do not really care to watch this one that much.
No, honestly, this will probably be a fun game if you like seeing Matt Ryan.
Oh, well. Matty Ice? Somebody say Matty Ice?
Matty Ice is going to have a good game this week.
We love to see it. I'm rooting for the Falcons, I think, in this game. Mostly just because I don't know. The Dolphins just are a mess.
I kind of want to see Jalen Phillips go off because I was really high on him. And this is the O-line to do it on.
That makes sense. Yeah, that I do agree with that. Do you also, I'm just going to say I am very happy, from a pure fantasy perspective and from me just being right perspective. everything I've said about Myles Gaskin has come true. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, but you'd see him more, but I don't really. Whoever the offensive coordinator is for the Dolphins isn't very good. So
True. Also, they should have got O-line.
You don't say.
They can trade Tunsil back for 2 first-round picks. Please do, please. I'll just hear me out. Watson and Tunsil, you get them both, and we'll just take everything.
Hey, I don't know. Do you believe the trade rumors?
In my opinion, the trade rumors are indicative of the fact that the lawsuit stuff is making progress, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I think it's going to be settled out of court. I don't think there's going to be criminal charges.
I don't really believe so too. I think it's going to go sort of hush for the next like
the AB stuff.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to be. And the thing is, we're not going to forget it because he's such a premier name, and it's the number is so massive with 22.
You want to bet? Because look at everything AB did. Look at everything Big Ben did.
Okay, I'm going to counter that with saying it's not like people forgot that. Like, people still take very low shots at Big Ben about it, but no one really cares that much. In addition, we live in a culture that's very much going to remember stuff like that now, compared to, I think, at least for the Big Ben stuff, 10, 15 years ago.
All right, but the AB stuff, he's just been forgiven. Like,
has he? I didn't really feel like he's been that really much forgiven. I think most people are just like, whatever. It helps when you have Tom Brady.
I feel like Richard Sherman has a harder time being forgiven than Antonio Brown.
Interesting point. I don't really have much opinions on that, to be honest. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much opinions on it. I hope Watson gets traded. I want that saga to be over with. I want that storyline in the NFL, period, to be over with.
Yeah. And the worst thing is I liked Watson. Like,
oh, yeah.
As a player, as a person, I didn't really know him. But as a person, he seemed genuine.
Right.
I don't know if what he did was true.
Right.
If he did it, he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
But if he didn't and he's going through this, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. Whether there's smoke, there's fire. So I'm not going to be like, he did nothing of it. But I'm also not one to be like, yeah, he did all 22. Yep.
Here's the thing. He could have done something, and it's still not been, technically what they said it was. But
right.
We're getting a little off track here. So
yeah, football, woohoo. We can go through the next couple games, I think, a little bit faster. Lions and Rams. Or Lions at Rams.
Do you know that there's no wild lions in the state of Massachusetts?
Really? No way. What a fact.
Yeah.
This is a game.
No, this is 2 revenge games. 2.
Oh, you're right.
This isn't talked about enough. Jared Goff is going to have a game.
You really think so?
Have himself. I don't trust this Rams defense. I don't think it's very good.
Interesting. Hawkinson finally breaks out.
Hawkinson Day.
Ooh, I would love to see that. I would love to see this. The Lions win.
If DeAndre Swift plays, DeAndre Swift, it's gonna get Swifty up in here.
Ooh, he called it. Ooh. But also Stafford. I can totally see Stafford being like, "Yep, this is my chance to get it all out for 10 plus years of you guys wasting my career."
Is it in Detroit or is it in LA?
It's at LA.
I wish it was in Detroit so bad.
Very much so, yeah.
Because if it was in Detroit, I could see Stafford throwing for like 500 yards.
Oh yeah.
I think that honestly is going to motivate Jared Goff more than it's going to motivate Stafford.
Honestly, this may be one of the most disrespectful trades that no one talks about.
I'm rooting so hard, but I'm going to make a prediction. The Lions are just gonna lose another heartbreaker.
Oh, 100%. I agree with that. Yeah.
They're gonna lose. Like, but I feel like it would come down to a field goal again, or like they get their game-winning field goal blocked or something. Like losing the most Lions fashion possible.
Do you think the Lions are? Do you think 0-6 is indicative of their team?
No, okay. They are really well coached.
Okay. With the lack of talent that they have.
They have the least amount of talent in the NFL.
Okay, yeah.
Which, it's more of like, imagine Dan Campbell on some of these other teams.
Mm-hmm.
These players are ready to run through walls for this man. So
yeah.
like, I love when I see people clowning on how his press conferences go. I'm like, all right, he coaches well. All right.
Yeah. That's half the battle.
That is the battle. If you coach well, you did your job.
True. I think, man, they really aren't a 0-6 team, and they're gonna get a win eventually. Like, okay, yeah, looking at the schedule right now, I'm looking. It's Rams, then they got the Eagles, winnable. Steelers, winnable. Yep. Browns, the Browns will probably be back more informed.
The Browns will kill them.
The Bears, not saying it's a winnable game. They probably
the first one was winnable. There's just so many red zone turnovers. That was tough.
Oh, it's true. Vikings. I don't know what to believe about the Vikings, but the Vikings are going to need a win at that point because, golly, their schedule's hard.
Well, they almost lost the first time they played them. Detroit should have like 2 wins right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Tucker being Jesus as a kicker.
Yeah, for real, my goodness.
67 yards.
Insane. Then they got the Broncos, winnable. Cardinals, they'll get absolutely creamed.
Yep.
Falcons, winnable. Seahawks, they'll probably
lose. No clue I have no idea what to do with the Seahawks.
I guess we'll get to that. And then Packers, Lions. Oh, the good classic. Also, what is the Bears, Lions Thanksgiving game? Oh, let's go.
Justin Fields Thanksgiving game. I'm cool with this.
Fields and golf. We'd love to see it. But yeah, I mean, we're both picking Rams in another heartbreak fashion. I could see that.
It's either going to be a heartbreak or a blowout. There's going to be no in between. So let's go heartbreak.
That's just Lions in general. That's just Detroit. Bears at Broncos. Last year, the Bears beat the or not Broncos. Sorry, the Bucks.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be a close-ish game.
Okay.
But I'm taking Tom Brady over anybody.
At this point, yeah.
That is the one man in sports, as Skip Bayless says, you do not bet against. And I have won a lot of money betting with Tom Brady.
I remember I was talking to a fellow friend of ours. And a couple years back, he made the comment to me because I'm just never going to bet against Brady in the playoffs. And he kept saying that, and I always got upset because I was like, how can you just not pick again? Like, he's going to lose eventually. And I feel like over and over, I've learned the lesson. Nope, he's going to lose, or he's going to win. He is going to win. And I just can't pick against him. I really can't.
And if he loses, it's a shock. So, like, yeah, you're going to take he's going to win 9 times out of 10. And the one that he doesn't, you're like, wow, all right.
And is what it is. I'm taking the Bucks. I actually think this will be an entertaining game. I'm excited to see. I hope Fields does well. Cole Kmet, my start of the week when it comes to tight ends for fantasy. Good tight end pick if you need them. I like this team. Yeah.
I'm dubbing this Sir Allen Robinson's breakout game.
I hope so, dude. I hope so.
Now, I've explained to you why Allen Robinson hasn't been good this year.
Mm-hmm.
But look, let me just do this live. Allen Robinson was a first team reps only guy. Justin Fields was a second team reps guy. For most of the preseason, he built no chemistry with Justin Fields because Andy Dalton was supposed to be this QB. Darnell Mooney swapped back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So Mooney has more chemistry with Fields than Robinson does.
Right.
That's why he's getting the lion's share of targets.
Right.
as the season goes on, Allen Robinson will go up.
Mm-hmm.
But just don't give out hope on Robinson yet.
Dude's insanely talented. Insanely talented. A very good catcher. But yeah. I agree with you. I'm rooting for him a lot. I'm really rooting for him. It's a very similar storyline to the Hopkins storyline, which is a sucky quarterbacks or just meh quarterbacks throughout life. And then I'm hoping Fields can be good. I don't like the Bears, but I really hope the Fields can be a good quarterback because I want to see Allen Robinson succeed.
Well, he was the second best quarterback off my board.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's talented. He's got talent. I'm hoping Matt Nagy doesn't ruin it too because I really dislike Matt Nagy.
Nagy needs to be gone.
Yeah.
So we are rooting for the Bucks for Fields.
Yep. The Bears remind me so much of Bill O'Brien.
No. Bill O'Brien was a decent coach.
True. I agree with that comment. I get vibes of like, they're 9-7. They're getting there. They're just above
Jason Garrett's of the world.
Jason Garrett, that's a good comparison. Yep. Man, I want Allen Robinson to succeed.
I think Allen Robinson leaves after this year, anyways. No matter how good Fields does.
I'm sad.
Nah, I'm generally okay with this. Okay. Because you can go get a receiver.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, they got Allen Robinson from free agency.
Yeah. And you're going to get a comp pick for him anyways.
Right.
You're going to get a third comp pick, and then you're going to just call it a day. That's okay.
Right. Okay, we can move on to Eagles Raiders. I do not have an opinion on this game.
I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Okay.
I think the pass rush will get home, and Derek Carr is not good under pressure.
Okay. I don't have any comments, so I'm going to say I was going to pick the Eagles as well. So, yeah. You have any other comments about it?
Free Miles Sanders.
Free Miles Sanders. Let's see him actually do something, please.
Because they said they're going to run the ball way more this week. We need to get him the ball more. Yeah. It's almost like he was productive in the fourth quarter of the Bucs game when you ran the football.
Crazy how that works.
Yeah, I guess I forgot running backs needed the ball to run. Believe it or not, I didn't know if you knew that, but I felt like I would
throw that out there. Yeah. Texans at Cardinals.
There's no Cardinals in the state of Texas, to my knowledge. There might be, but I've never seen one.
We had it here, folks. This is what it is. I don't know. I don't really have. Texans are gonna get blown out. That just suck. Actually, yeah. I think Lovie Smith, the defensive coordinator, has done a really good job.
Yep, this is the David Johnson revenge game.
I hope so. I really hope so. I love David Johnson.
He'll get 60 yards at best this game, but I will feel good about his 60 yards. But in reality, JJ Watt's gonna go off, and DeAndre Hopkins is gonna go off, and it's gonna be a bad time.
It's I think Davis Mills is still starting, and actually, I don't like Davis Mills. To me, he just screams Trevor Siemian.
He is the 34th best quarterback in the league, and that's okay. It's only a third-round pick.
It's only a third-round pick. Also, we need to take this into consideration. The dude went to high school, finished his high school career, went to college at Stanford, played 9 games during COVID year.
Yep.
And then is now in the league, and now is starting his 5th game.
Exactly. He's not finished developing.
No. And he's got talent.
Is he going to be anything more than a average starter at best? I don't know.
I also saying this, I do not want the Texans to draft a quarterback this upcoming year.
there's very few I feel good about.
Yeah. Just stick with Mills. I'm fine with that. Cardinals, you look good. I want to see that defense tested a little bit more.
I don't trust their defense.
I know we were going to talk about it, the Cardinals schedule, because I know you mentioned it earlier. The Cardinals-Packers comes up next week, this upcoming Thursday, October 28th. I'm excited to see that. I'm really excited to see that. They actually got a good stretch of Packers, Niners, Panthers, Seahawks, Bears, Rams, Lions, Colts, Cowboys, Seahawks. Like a decent stretch of games. They should win the majority. They will win the majority. And I want to see
one never knows with Arizona.
That is very true. But next week is going to be the bigger test, is the Packers and Cardinals. But we're not talking about next week.
Yeah, we're not here for next week. We're here for right now. This could be I won't say this is going to be a trap game, but if the Texans come out and score a touchdown first and then get a stop and then are driving downfield, I wouldn't be surprised.
You say
Texans
that
might start out hot, is what I'm going to say.
You say that the Texans have, in their last two away games have been outscored 71-3. So,
hey,
yikes.
now is there a better time to get hot than against the
team that's leeching off of you?
Yeah, your farm team that's stealing all your good players.
Exactly. Yeah, it is what it is. It's fine. It's cool. It's fine. It's fine.
It is what it is.
Next game, Colts and Niners. Actually, a pretty decent game. Will Jonathan Taylor continue to go off? I don't know. I hope so. Jimmy G. Raise your stock a little. Huh? Yeah, he's playing. He's starting to.
Oh, okay. Now I feel worse about this game.
I don't know who to pick.
I think I'm going to lean Carson Wentz.
I am agreeing with you there. I was going to pull for them as well.
Like, I think the defenses are about equal.
Yeah.
I think Carson Wentz is right now a little bit better than Jimmy G.
Yep. Also, Pittman, really good this year.
Yeah, but they got Deebo Samuel, though. It's like...
That's true. And Ayuk, please.
Ayuk, I beg. I have you in fantasy. Everyone else is on a bye week. I need it. All right?
Ayuk, please. I don't think it's this week that he breaks out. But
no, there's no secondary back there. If there was ever a week, come on, bud.
Please, Allen Robinson, Ayuk, please. This is your week. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Yep. I don't know what the spread is, but I would, if it's less than 3, I would, take the underdog.
Makes sense.
If you're betting, but I think the Colts will win it straight. So
makes sense. I could see it. It could be a really good game. Oh, why is it? It's Sunday Night Football. It could be a good game.
This could also be one of the most boring Sunday Night Football games ever.
Oh, it could be one of those games. Oh.
Like, it just feels like it'll be a good one. But at the same time, if you told me this is like a 14-3 game at the end of it, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being one of those, like, both teams come out, score a touchdown, and then it's just this 3-and-out fest.
Kind of like the Eagles-Niners last year.
Yeah. Yeah, Nah, this is the last game.
Mm-hmm.
Saints at Seahawks. 2 teams that no one knows how to define.
Jameis Winston versus Geno Smith in 2021, baby. I am here for it.
Do we know what's happening? Do we understand the identities of these teams? No.
You're supposed to have an identity?
Oh, you're right.
The way they're playing it, I'm confused. Sean Payton, did you forget who you have in your backfield?
Yeah, he did.
Like, switching from Breeze to Jameis, like, does that make you forget what players you have, or?
I think so.
because Kamara is still a really good receiving back that needs to be used more in your offense.
Probably the second best behind C-Mac.
Well, you can go back and forth on those two in my eyes, but
they also have a good offensive line. It's not like they have a bad one too. Why did you just forget him?
Yeah, no, it's just you need to use him more. That's why I'm going to take the Saints, by the way, just so I can. I want to root for Geno Smith because Geno Smith succeeding makes me smile. But this team is good.
Yeah.
If he could figure out what it is good.
The Saints are I'm the most reactionary to the Saints than I am compared to any other team. Like, I see the Saints and I'm just like, if they win, I'm like, man, this team's good. If they lose, I'm like, who is this? This is horrible. This is bottom three. I have no sense of what I believe in them. I'm gonna take them because I really dislike the Seahawks. I really dislike them.
Pete Carroll has to go. It's time.
I am on the anti-Pete Carroll time. They really need a clean house. It is at that time, in my opinion. Front office just needs a full reset, like a hard reset. By
the way, one of the most boneheaded trades of the past 2 years, that Jamal Adams trade.
Yeah, they had other priorities they needed. And man, the Jets are gonna get rewarded for it too, aren't they?
Yeah, they probably are.
Because it just came out today that Wilson is looking at a week 10 recovery. Is when he coming back? Good for him. Saints need, or not the Saints, the Seahawks need to win this game because if they don't, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
I don't think they'll make the playoffs whether they win or lose. So,
that's a very fair opinion, and I don't disagree with that. My question, I mean, now that we're pretty much at the end of the schedule, I can bring up the point. Like, I think we agreed the Cowboys are winning the division. I know you agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. There's no one in that division that can actually step to them and even keep it close.
Right. I'm assuming we agree the Bucks are going to make the playoffs.
Yep. They're going to walk away with that one.
Yep. I am assuming we agree with the Packers. Just because Rodgers.
Barring an Aaron Rodgers injury. Yes.
Yes. And I am assuming we both believe the Cardinals and the Rams will make it.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the Rams won't.
So that being said, that is 5 teams. That leaves 2 spots open, right?
Mm-hmm.
That leaves it for the Saints, which at this point I think they can. I'll tell you my schedule. Their schedule. They face the Seahawks, Bucks, Falcons, Titans, Eagles, Bills, Cowboys, Jets, Bucks, Dolphins, Panthers, Falcons. So, if I'm not mistaken, that is 5 division games.
Uh-huh.
It's possible they could. I see them as sort of 9 and 8.
I have them 8 and 9 in my mind. So we're splitting hairs, but the splitting hairs is going to be the difference in the playoffs, I feel like.
I'm saying that to make the point of there's the Vikings have. I didn't mention this actually. Have you seen the Vikings schedule?
Nope.
Do you? I'm going to tell you anyway. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you say no.
All right. Yeah.
They face the Cowboys, then the Ravens.
Yep.
Then the Chargers. Then the Packers. Then the Niners. Then the Lions. Then the Steelers. The Bears. The Rams. The Packers. The Bears.
They may lose 8 of those games.
Yeah, that's difficult. That is tough, and they should be 5-1 right now. Probably just ear-raped everyone, but they should be 5-1. I am get on my petty high horse. Should have beat the Bengals.
Should have beaten the Cardinals. Yep.
Had a good shot against the Browns too. Anywho, point is, I don't think the Vikings are realistically going to get the playoffs, sadly, because I like their team a lot. I like watching Kirk Cousins. I like watching Justin Jefferson. I like watching Thielen. and Cook.
You know
I
what
think
my issue
Zimmer's
with
a
Kirk
solid
Cousins
coach.
is? He
meh.
always he always does good for a long stretch, and then he'll have this 4-game stretch where he is the worst QB I can see.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, God, I hate. Like, you're good so long. Just continue.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, like, I bring this all up to the point of like, I think we agree now the Vikings aren't going to make it, right?
Nope.
I don't know I don't really know what your exact stance is on the Bears. The Bears could really just sneak in.
The Bears could sneak in.
Their schedule is tough.
But Justin Fields is tough.
Thanks, Zach.
Like, as much as you want to say about that, I'm that high on Justin Fields, where it's like, he's going to figure this out before the end of this year. And next year, he's going to be a problem.
Right. This leads us to potential Bears getting in, potentially the Niners/Seahawks.
Not Seahawks. The Seahawks are done in my eyes.
And
Once Russ
potentially
was
the
gone,
Saints/Panthers.
I got the Panthers making it, if anything. You don't just add Gilmore and then just true. They're going to get CMC back. They're adding Stephon Gilmore. CJ Henderson's going to get better. Like,
true.
This team is nutty.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with the Panthers take because I'm looking at the schedule now and it's not that bad. So we could be looking at a sort of like a Niners. I think the Seahawks will be in that like awkward, like they technically can make it in the hunt, but like the last team in the hunt rate type of thing.
Yeah.
Niners, Seahawks in the hunt, Bears, Saints, Panthers is going to be who's competing for it. And none of those teams to me just stand out. I know you seem pretty high on the Bears. To me, I'm not like, wow.
I think the Bears have a good defense, and I like their QB.
Fair.
Their offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
And they won't get Tevin Jenkins back for a while. So, like, that was their only saving grace.
Yeah. Well, couldn't the Saints? I mean, they're about to get Michael Thomas back. I think Michael Thomas added. Michael Thomas, Kamara, Winston.
Yeah, but they got to face the Bucs twice, the Panthers
that's true.
one more time, and the Falcons are going to split with them because that's what the Falcons do.
Makes sense. It's the race is weird. It's a very top heavy, which is like exciting to see whenever we're talking about it and we're thinking that the NFC, the divisional round is going to be, probably the Cowboys and versus the, I don't know, Bucks and Packers versus Cardinals.
Go look at the Cowboys schedule and tell me how many games they lose.
Gosh, maybe 2, 3 at most.
I think they steal the 1 seed. That is my prediction. They're going to steal the 1 seed because they face 2 good teams left.
The Cardinals.
Yep, the Cardinals is one of the good teams.
Saints.
I'm going to give Saints the benefit of the doubt. The Chiefs, I wish they were like, they have the talent to be a good team.
Right.
They won't, but they got the talent to be there.
Right. I don't know. It's just I could see the Cowboys stealing. I agree with you there.
Could you imagine though? We have like round 1. First, like we have to see Tampa Bay versus the Cardinals.
Oh, man. That'd be nice.
Like, how does football get better than that?
It's so nice. And it's like also the it's not like the AFC is that, like the AFC is pretty exciting too, in my opinion.
The AFC, I don't know who. Tell me who the best team in the AFC is.
I don't have an answer for you.
Because the Bills, I don't know.
It's gonna be a chaotic. Like the other one just seems like, oh, these are good teams. And AFC is just gonna be chaos.
The NFC would mop the floor with the AFC right now.
I agree. I think the Chargers can compete.
Chargers have no run defense.
Agreed. Bills have the firepower too.
They do, but you can run the football on them too.
Yep. Ravens, I don't trust Lamar in the playoffs still. I don't trust the Ravens
feel like
in the playoffs.
I trust Lamar a little bit more in the playoffs, but I feel like you can pass on them.
Yep.
And you can run on them if you really want to.
Yep. Browns, I don't fully trust yet.
Their secondary needs to improve, and Baker needs to get healthy.
Chiefs, they're not going to do much until they figure out that defense.
Yep.
Titans, they're pretty much bad, except for Derrick Henry being amazing.
Well, see, I would have said the Titans maybe, but they just lost Farley to an ACL.
Oh, yep. And who knows? What is the Lewan injury?
It's just a concussion.
Oh, it's just, oh my gosh, it looks so much worse.
Yeah, nope, just a concussion. That's why I wasn't too worried about them.
Then I'm not woohoo. Like, I could see the Colts, like, maybe there's a chance that the Colts just, but the Colts aren't going to be better than what they last year. Yeah.
And I think the Colts are going to realize, hey, we can't win this, and we need to protect our first-round pick.
Whoops, looks like Wentz is injured. Dang it. Whoops, looks like our whole line is injured. Sorry, Wentz.
Man, he is the unluckiest quarterback I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, he has the injury bug, and it's just going to follow him.
It really will. Do you see the Bengals doing it? The Bengals aren't better than Bills, Ravens, Titans, Chargers.
No, but, like, do I give the Bengals a punching chance?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I love the chaos in the AFC.
Well, what about the Raiders? Do we think the Raiders maybe?
I'm not.
I'm not in love with the Raiders, but like
they are a couple pieces away.
But like, say they go, what do you think their biggest need is?
Center, guard play.
So they say they would go out and just pick up somebody.
I say this is more so like their biggest need is to protect Carr.
So let's just say they go out and they pick up an offensive lineman at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you think they got a chance?
I think they got a chance with the playoffs. I'm looking at their schedule right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Eagles, Giants, Chiefs, Bengals, Cowboys, football team, Chiefs, Browns, Broncos, Colts, Chargers. That is a 8-9, 9-8 schedule.
I only see like the real losses that are like, wow, you're guaranteed to lose those games.
I know you won't like it. I could see, they're not beating the Cowboys.
Not on Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right. It's Thanksgiving. I could see them. They'll win against the Broncos.
Yep. We can mark that down.
I think they'll beat. Didn't we just pick the Eagles to beat the Raiders?
Yeah, no, we did. Like, I'm going to pick the Eagles, though, because of their O-line.
Yeah.
But if they acquired an O-line piece, then it's like, wow, I'm going to have to now readjust my stance on this.
I'm looking at it and I see 3 wins, and right now that would be 7 wins. And I see toss-ups against the Colts. I think they'll split against the Chiefs.
They can take the Chiefs.
I don't think they'll sweep the Chiefs.
I don't think they will, but I think they could.
They could. So I could also, and the Browns will be good by then. And I could a toss up with the Bengals. Like that's potentially 6 more wins, 6, 7 more wins.
Yeah. That'd be enough.
You know, it is what it is. But yeah, so no, I think that's it. You know, that's all we have. Let us guys know what you guys think. We enjoy doing this, just talking, sitting down and talking about football. But we hope to continue doing this and try getting on a schedule. Let us know what you guys think.
Let me know.
Also, name suggestions.
Yeah, we don't have a name for this yet. So yeah, if you guys have a cool name, let us know.
Let us know, and you know, we'll vibe with it. So yeah.
If you have questions like you want to hear us talk about, also, it would help if we knew those. So tell us about it.
But yeah, any suggestions, so let us know. Thank you guys. And yeah, hopefully see y'all next week. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.